What's going on, guys? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are, whenever you are. Welcome to a new Breakout Solutions live stream. I'm your host, Matt Batiri, here with you today with another Bitcoin technical analysis video. Well, it's been a big week here at Breakout Solutions. We just wrapped up our latest workshop. We've been running these for the last couple of months now, and we've had amazing feedback. So if you're interested in joining us in any of our future workshops, they are full-day workshops where you're going to learn a lot about finances, budgeting. We're going to help you set up your first passive income stream using cryptocurrencies. So if you're new to the space, even if you've been around for quite a bit of time in crypto, there's amazing opportunities out there where you can earn passive income utilizing your crypto assets as collateral. So if you'd like to join us at our next workshop, please make sure you check out the website down below, the Digital Prosperity Workshop. I definitely recommend that you guys attend our next one, which is on the 28th of October of next month. Right, we're not here to talk about that. We are here to talk about Bitcoin. Now, before we jump into the Bitcoin TA, one thing I'd like to do is reference one of my videos, or the video that I made last week. Basically, at the time that I was recording the video, the price of Bitcoin was $26,649. You can maybe see that price right there. And I said, hey, we're going to go a little bit higher, where I think we're going to create a bearish divergence. So even if I play the video, you're not going to hear the sound. But if you go to our website, go to our channel, which you should be already on because you're watching this video. If you go check out last week's stream, I called exactly what would happen in the actual Bitcoin price. I said we were going to come a little bit higher than where we were at the time. So when I did this video, price action was right here. I said we were going to come up, hit the 786. So Bitcoin would find it extremely difficult to get above 27,400 because not only do we have the Fibonacci 786 retracement here, but we also had the 100 period moving average on the 4-hour timer, and also the 50 period moving average on the daily. So we had a lot of resistance at this level. It was going to be very difficult to break. I did say we'd probably get rejected here, and because we've been rejected, now if we go to the daily and I bring on my indicators, you can see, if I collapse these, you can see that this RSI right here has now formed a bearish divergence, and it's pretty aggressive. So we created a lower high in price. Let me just remove that. Okay, so we've created, let me remove these channels as well, this trading channel. So we created a lower high in price, and this is TA 101, and we've created a higher high on the stochastic RSI. That's a hidden bearish, or regular bearish. It's a hidden bearish divergence. Sorry, and yeah, it's playing out, and it's not as powerful as a regular bearish divergence. I want that to be noted. But we had a lot of things that I mentioned in yesterday's, last week's video that were just, it was going to be very difficult for us to blow through this. So right now, we do have the stochastic RSI also pointed down. We had a anchor wave that we made on market side for BTC, this little red dot, and we're in heavy red money flow, so it was going to be a bit of a pullback. But look, I think that if we can stay above 24,500, this red money flow should curve back up, and we should form a nice little trigger wave here, which would give us really good confluence for an explosive move to the upside. Now, even though it's going to be an explosive move, I don't think we're talking about anything above $32,000, unfortunately. I think we'll be struggling to break that number before the halving. And I think right now, on a larger time frame, what I think we could be doing is possibly just forming an ascending triangle, right? So we kind of have already formed parts of this triangle. Where are my shapes? Let me get some shapes. I like the old triangle here. So we have the triangle, and we've got a one tap to the top side, and then one tap to the downside. So obviously I'd need to pull it a little bit more. I can either pull it down this way, which I don't like to do. I'd rather, that's why it's really difficult. You could do this, right? And wherever we do end up, so let's just say we end up where we ended up there, like so. We could see this play out all the way to, March next year, right? So we have the rest of the year, and we could literally just bounce around this thing like an ascending triangle for quite a bit of time, right? And just really, really squeeze things before we eventually have an explosive move to the upside. Don't get me wrong, if we get this large triangle, we'll probably get a couple of fake outs to the downside. But as long as we close a weekly candle within this triangle, right? So what I mean by that is you can have a weekly candle that's like there, right? But as long as, let me just move this, as long as there we go. If it's something like this, right, that's still okay. That's still okay. So we could have like a decent drop, but as long as we close the weekly candle within the triangle on a macro scale, that's very good. So we could be doing the exact same thing now. You could even draw a triangle sort of from here, trying to use these 3 more recent wicks, like so. Something like that. Like, this is why I'm not a huge pattern trader, but I'm just sort of giving you a heads up over time, because we've got a big rejection here. We're coming down, and if we find a decent bounce from here, yes, of course, we could create a head and shoulders pattern, right? If we just come up, get rejected, and come back down, of course we can do that. But at the end of the day, you can be forming multiple patterns at the same time. So we'll just have to wait and see. But this is just something that I looked at today. I'm like, oh yeah, we could be creating a bit of a ascending triangle. It's going to take many weeks and months to play out, but it's just something that could possibly work out. Or in fact, we could even just come down all the way here. I don't know why I drew such a shallow triangle, and now remember what I wanted to do. We have this trend line from all the way back down to the bottom of the bull market to where we are now. And if you're looking at this, I am not on log scale. I am on a regular scale. So that's one thing to be aware of, right? If I go to logarithmic, then that trend line sort of changes, right? It's probably not going to look as good. So trend lines to be to take as accurately as possible shouldn't be done on logarithmic, right? It's just too easy to sort of fudge it, because logarithmic just pushes things out. So whenever you do draw a trend line, guys, make sure you're on the regular settings, because that can affect where you see trend lines. So if we're going off, this one dating all the way back to COVID that I mentioned before, then yeah, we could be, creating a bit of a triangle here, right? So something like that right there, like from this tap, sorry. So from this tap, that's what I meant to do. So yeah, that could be definitely something to look out for. And that would kind of make sense, because right now I don't see the bears or the bulls giving up too much room. And as if you did see my stream last week, I did mention that I think the weekly stochastic will just form a W pattern. Where are we? Brush. So I do think, like previous weeks, there was a W pattern, there was a W pattern, there was a W pattern. I do believe we're going to come up, which we already have, come back down, and then a push to the upside. Because you can see every time we come into the oversold territory, we always form these Ws, which give us the divergences on the other indicators. But it's just important to point that out. Like, you look at this one and that one, that created divergence. So I think that no one wants to give up too much room. So if we're going off that trend line, where's the bottom of that trend line? So the bottom of that trend line is right there. Right now, it's at $24,000, right? $24,000. So that gives us a little bit of information, to go off about what, oh my God, about what could possibly happen. And then, yeah, we just have this ascending triangle coming up. I mean, we could even just make sure we get it as close as possible right there, okay? So if we come back up, 3 taps of this, come back down one more time, we could be forming that. So we just got to pay attention, but that's just something that I'm looking at. Now, in the worst case scenario, in the short term, before people start really, really freaking out about the price, is just the 618 from where we made the lows to the highs, and this is $20,000, right? So I could see this, of course, come down all the way down here. There'll be a lot of liquidity from people that thought that this was just a fake out and long tier. So we might even just go swing fairly pattern this low right here, which means swing fairly pattern. As soon as you break here, there'll be a lot of liquidity, because people believe that we're just going to capitulate, and then people this is where the market makers will start longing, because there's a lot of liquidity in the market, because people panic selling. So it creates those huge crashes that you will also see in bull markets. So that's what I'm looking at now. That's to the downside. If we look a little bit closer, let's go to the 4 hour. Right now, let's look at where we are. So we're just probably above the 0.5. Okay, we're just holding the 0.5 fib retracement, but this has been a decent pullback. So for me, it shows me we're probably going to come down to the golden pocket. And then try and swing fairly pattern this low right here. So 25,744. Look for a lot of buyers to come in at that price because we're at the golden pocket, because it's a swing fairly pattern. So I'm forecasting a decent bounce from here. It should be a decent bounce. How high does it go? Well, we could go, we could go high as this point, and then we'd create a very mini head and shoulders. All right, like this. Boom. Oh my God, my drawing tools. What's going on today? My drawing tools are just off. Let's go back here. There we go. Head, shoulder, boom, like this. All right, we could do something like that because this is the neckline. So yeah, on the short to medium term, it looks like we've pushed down far enough. Like the 0.5 is not always the strongest Fibonacci. We're more than likely, yeah, we might get a mini bounce, but then sort of come back down to here because this is where there's a lot of liquidity waiting, and we have this untapped 4 hour block that people want to short and think of the collapse is coming, because if we come down here, we don't get supported by the golden pocket. This is our last hope, the 25.4, and this is where there's huge single prints. So single prints is where it didn't give people a lot of opportunity to jump into a trade when there is a gap. So you have 3 connecting candles, and the top of the first candle and the bottom of the third candle, if there is a gap, which there is, as we can see, that is the gap. This is a single print gap. So that means there's a lot of liquidity in this zone. So if we do come down, yes, we will get obviously a bounce from here, but this is then we're getting into ugly territory. And the reason I want to talk about prices getting worse, right, is a lot of market psychology, guys. Like a lot of people in our program, right, have been in our program for the last 18 months. And even though some have been making passive income, a lot of the buy and hold strategies is we're just planting seeds, right? We're planting seeds for next year and 2025 because we're still in this depression / disbelief phase, right? We went through the bear market, all right? So we went through complacency, anxiety, denial, panic, capitulation, anger, depression. Now we're in this depression phase where we've just sort of had this bounce, right? If you look, this is the market bottom, right? We've come up, and we're just going sideways down. It's just depressing because this sideways period is a long time. Trust me, it's a long time. And it just feels like we're just not getting anywhere. We're not getting anywhere. But in 12 months from now, things are going to be moving and moving fast. And that's what's exciting, is to see how people's psychology and mentality is going to change over the next 12 months. Because right now, we're still in this zone. And the Bitcoin price is showing it. It's giving us very limited volatility. So we'll have, pump up, and if you miss it, you're kind of screwed because then you just have this sideways action. You're like, oh, is it going to continue? And then we have another pump up, and now we're dropping, and it just seems about right that we possibly continue a little bit further to the $20,000 mark, and we assess from there. But at the end of the day, right now we're forming lower highs on a macro. All right, so we're still in the downtrend, so we cannot become bullish. All right, we are in a downtrend, lower lows, lower highs, and we'll just keep going. Once we change things on a macro trend, once we form a higher high, so we could get support here at the 6, that'd be great. If we can then get a higher high to this high, that's great, because this is on the daily scale. So this is a macro higher high, right? So we have formed a low. We have formed a low. Now we've formed a high. So this high is a lower high to this. So if we can form a higher low, then we've got a low, higher, low. Sorry, low, higher. Sorry, low, high, lower high. Sorry, lower, higher, low, lower high than this. But if this comes above here, Jesus, my highs and my lows is way too much. So if we can come above 28,136, that's going to give market confidence that we've created a new high. Alrighty, so it's a bit like here. If you were unsure about this breakout, whoops. If you're unsure about this, my God, my drawing tools today, what is doing? what he's doing. If you're unsure about this, oh my God. Seriously, I don't know what's going on with the TradingView drawing tools, but today it is absolutely struggling. So if what he's doing, come on, put this line there. All right. If this in this market rally, if you were unsure about it, you could have definitely been sure once we break this high, right? We created a higher high on a macro scale, and then we had a little bit of a pump. So if you wanted to be safe, even if you went off this, right, you still would have made 11%. You just wouldn't have caught the first part. Here, was same thing. All right. So once, oh my God. Seriously, TradingView, I'm gonna have to revoke my membership. Okay. Once we broke that high, right, and got confirmation, you still made a decent percent, even if you wanted to be safe, right? You were 22%. So you didn't take any trade here. You were just like, all right, it's pumping, whatever. Once it broke this high, that's a consecutive high. So you know there's more in the juice. There's more in the tank. So right now we're in lower highs, guys. We can just stay on the sideline, remain patient. But once we see that macro change, we can get back into the crypto market assets. I am seeing a couple of things because I didn't do a live stream last week for the altcoins, and there was just a couple that I've seen that are have potential. So I'm just going to cover a couple right now. Acro, this is a DeFi lending platform that I checked out. If we look at it on the daily, on the macro, it's down at the 6. It's down at the golden pocket, right? So it's getting support here, which is kind of good too because it's support from all the way back here. Look, so 1 touch, 2 touch, rejection, and now this should be strong support. So not financial advice, but this Acro, AKRO USDT, definitely a coin to look at, guys. On the daily, stochastic is pointing up. We are going to have a confirmed hidden bullish divergence, lower low on the RSI, and a higher low on the price action. Hidden bullish divergence. Market size for on the daily is in the green, and the we just got a green dot, and we're in green money flow. On the weekly, the stochastic RSI is low. So it's going to most likely turn up. So not financial advice, but on the macro as well, this looks like a cup and handle. Just, pattern traders. Cup handle. Usually I think the handle comes back to the 382. This time the 0.5. Okay, so it's come back to the 0.5 as well from the bottom to the top. So it's formed a cup and handle. If you don't know what a cup and handle is, guys, cup and handle trading pattern. This looks pretty bullish to me. Look at that. If that does not look like what we are looking at on the Acro, then I'm not here. So this is looking bullish right now from this all-time high that it created from this price. We'll go here to there. That's a 10x. That's a 10x. That is a 10x. So I'm going to be getting myself a bag of Acro. I haven't even bought it. I just told you guys that. So I was just I saw that today and I was like, oof, I'm going to get me some Acro. So Acro is definitely something to look at. I did look at a couple of other tokens as well. I think I looked at Link. Look at that. Bounced off the 618. The 786. You've probably missed it, but I would be confident saying even if you buy now, it's probably going to come back up here unless it finds resistance. Okay, so it's just blown through the golden pocket from this high here, and now from here we're at the golden pocket. So it's definitely a no trade zone. If anything, it's a sell right now, but you don't want to go here because this is going to be resistance, guys. So definitely not that. Seller, let's look at seller. I think this had a bullish divergence on the weekly. Yes, yeah, it did. Maybe not, but no bullish divergence. kind of that, but not really. Yeah, there was a couple that I was looking at. Engine was looking quite good as well. Actually, no, I wouldn't touch it just yet, just on the weekly. But yeah, Acro. That's look. I mean, it's just pumping now. Like, look at this thing. This thing's just it's moving. So yeah, there's a hot tip for you guys watching Acro. So there's a free pick from me, and it's already, oh man, today it's already up 10% today. Yeah, it's flying. 15%. I'm definitely going to try and get onto this very quickly. Yeah, this thing's flying. I'm gonna jump into some macro, guys. All right, thank you all for watching. We're gonna have a new person doing the Wednesday live streams. I can't wait for you to meet him. His name is Stefan. He's one of the new guys in the team. He's a sales guy like myself, does some trading, loves doing technical analysis. So Stefan is also going to be presenting from now on Wednesday. So look forward to seeing him on the YouTube, and he's going to be teaching you some awesome stuff. So I will catch you guys on next Monday for my next Bitcoin technical analysis video. Peace.